He even walked in a room like a smug bastard.
They so caught up in my pride, but don't know what's inside. I've been down and I've been up, still ain't giving up.
So what's up, y'all? It's your girl B Octavia, and this will be the intro for this video. This is a continuance of the last video that I did on OJ Simpson. If you haven't seen that one, where I detail and give you guys my point of view of the murder of Nicole Brown Simpson, and I also tell you guys why I despise OJ and why I feel like he is guilty, and just the whole scenario around the case. So in this video, I will be reacting to a 1996 interview that he did about the trial and about being acquitted and life after the trial, basically. And I'll just break it down. And yeah, so make sure that if y'all are tuning in right now, that y'all like this video, subscribe to the channel, road to 2K, okay? Let's get into it.
Real time.
OJ, before we start to unravel this bizarre odyssey that you have gone through, why are you doing this interview? Why did you agree to this interview under these circumstances?
Well, I think obviously it's well known that I've been wanting to talk for quite a while. When the case was over, I wanted to talk immediately. Unfortunately, I had some new lawyers, and I was involved in another litigation, a civil suit. They had some concerns because they hadn't really spent any time with me. They had a lot of concerns that anything I might say may be used against me, and not knowing me and not understanding how I see things and how I speak, and really not, even though they followed the case, not being totally up on the case, they were a little reluctant for me to speak at that time. So was most of my lawyers. They felt that I was at a time where I was still coming down from an emotional, this emotional thing.
Are you doing this for the money too?
Oh, obviously. I've spent a career collecting a certain wealth. A lot of people have relied on me over those years, family, in-laws, and I've had to use all that up, all those savings up.
And see, this is what I'm talking about, OJ, right? I will give him that he's being honest about wanting to speak for money, right? But at the same time, it's all about you. And we're not talking about what you helped people do back in your day, in your heyday. We're not talking about you as a football player. We're not talking about the wealth that you generated over the years before this happened. We're talking about this. We are talking about the murders that occurred and what you were accused of. So again, that's his complex.
To defend myself.
Were you
in this
coached?
case.
Were you coached at all on what to say here today?
Not at all. I think one thing that my new lawyers found, once they sat down with me, and they did sit down with me, they did interview me, and in the course of firing questions at me, they felt pretty good about me as a client.
About letting you go
yeah,
and talk and
yeah,
say it the way you want to say
want
it.
to say things, yes.
A tough question, but you knew, obviously, Nicole very well. She was your wife for a long time. What do you think she would have said about the verdict that day?
Oh, Nicole would have stood by me. Nicole, there's so many people who are alleged friends. The interesting thing about it, Nicole knew a lot of the weaknesses of the people who are, I think, benefiting from what has happened here. And Nicole would have been, like she always was with me when there was a problem, in our family, that the two of us, no matter what we were going through in our lives, we always stood real strong with one another. When we were apart, something that the press don't seem to want to talk about or write about, they want to give a total opposite skew on it. Even when we were apart, when we were divorced, when we had other lives, whenever there was something major, something emotional, Nicole on a few occasions had some very serious, for her, emotional issues come up with her then boyfriends. She didn't call her mother. She called OJ. And maybe Cora Fishman, her best friend. Faye wasn't in her life at that point in time, but I was a person she came to with problems that you would be really surprised that this so-called jealous, possessive individual that this woman would come to me with problems that she had with her lovers.
Okay, so this is the thing about OJ, right? So OJ Simpson, I'm seeing a pattern in how he is bringing up other people to vouch for him. He says the people that support him, and mind you, he keeps saying me, me, me. He says the people that support him, hopefully he's doing them justice enough so that when they are debating out wherever they are and his name is the topic of debate, that they have ammunition. Why is that important? Okay? Why is ammunition important in a situation? And literally, he has none. You know what I'm saying? Literally, he has no ammunition. He has nothing more to say other than talking about himself. And he also brings up other people vouching for him that he worked with, that he stated that anybody, almost everybody that he worked with became friends. Something to note about that is a friend is different from being a spouse. A friend is different from being a friend with benefits. A friend is different from anything romantical or romantic that is transpiring with OJ. So that's really the difference.
Not guilty. What, that moment when you heard those words, what went through your mind?
I was really numb. I must admit, up until the day before, I thought it would be a hung jury. I thought one or two of the jurors would not vote for acquittal. And I was real concerned about that because Johnny Cochran had told me it'd be me.
He says that he was fighting his emotions. Let's make something clear. Ever since after she died and this case has taken place, he has not had no emotion about his ex-wife.